Hi everyone. So we're back for another cricket interview. So today I actually have Sumbul Fatima, who's a cricket journalist, also in Pakistan. So we reached out. We were having a conversation offline about to when it comes to talking about the Asia Cup and the squad announcement, and talk about Pakistan and Bangladesh squad. So I'll hand it off to Sumbul to kind of kick off the interview, inshallah.
Okay, thank you so much, Tanzim, for your kind words. Tanzim, first of all, tell me about the Pakistan squad. What do you think about that? The Asia Cup squad. The fans are disappointed because major names are not there, including Babar Azam, Naseem Shah, Rizwan. But what are your opinions on that?
Yeah, so it's a very interesting discussion. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions about Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan not being in the squad, as well as Naseem Shah as well. And there's a lot to talk about, that kind of thing. But I think first thing that comes to mind is a lot of teams now in international cricket use their T20 squad to blood the youngsters and future cricketers for the other formats. So, for example, in the recent South Africa Australia series, we have players like Alex Carey or Josh Inglis and all these other players, or even like with the bowlers like Nathan Ellis, they tend to get more game time, and you have other players like Pat Cummins, Hazelwood. I think didn't play the last game, and other Mitch Stark also rested. So we can see this opportunity was used to blood other youngsters, like even Xavier Bartlett. So, like, I'm giving you that example to show that perhaps I can't also speak for the Pakistan selectors and what they're thinking, but there has been a shift towards giving youngsters or talented players a go. So that's why, for example, in this particular Pakistan squad, you see the likes of obviously Sam Ayub. They're really investing in. He's a young, talented player, and then my personal favorite player to watch is Sahib Zada Farhan, very aggressive, talented batsman as well. And Hassan Nawaz has been making a lot of headlines as well with his batting or big hitting abilities as well. And these players don't really get an opportunity to play for the national team. I mean, obviously in ODIs or tests, right? It's only just domestic cricket, and that's it. So there is that I feel selectors are keeping an eye on potential players for the future that they can blood. And T20 cricket is a good way to kind of allow youngsters to get more of an opportunity to play international cricket. And unfortunately, like even players like I don't think it's anything bad or people should be outraged if players like Mohammad Rizwan or Babar Azam don't make it into main 11, because even players like Steve Smith or even Joe Root or Kane Williamson don't necessarily play T20 cricket for their country as well. So that's something to have a perspective about. By in saying that, can Mohammad Rizwan and Babar Azam play? Are they good enough for to play T20 cricket? Obviously, they are. I don't think there's any question about that. We know how talented and skillful they are, but I think it's just something to keep perspective of when it comes to blooding youngsters for the future. And I think it is, and also on top of that, there's that tendency for previously selectors playing certain players that don't have an aggressive mindset. So you have Hassan Nawaz, Saib Zadav, Farhan, they're very aggressive batsmen. So I think that is really a good step. But at the same time, yeah, it's a balancing act, and yeah, it is obviously slightly controversial to leave out Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. But I think that's the reason why the selectors went for that kind of squad as well.
So, if I tell my opinion, I personally feel it's a good decision because we are giving chance to the players जो कि उनको था they didn't get the chance enough, because obviously we had the names like Babar Azam, Rizwan, Naseem, and all those who are left behind. They have already played a lot for the country, and now it's chance for the emerging players to get the chance to play for the country. But what do you think about it? Do you think it's a good decision, like to give the chance to the newbies as they are coming? As you mentioned, Hassan Nawaz is a great talent. Sahibzada Farhan. So definitely, it's like a kind of a good asset. The fans are disappointed. That's another thing. But do you think they can replace the talent that we have stopped from playing in the Asia Cup?
I think so, because if they don't play now, I don't know when they'll get to play. and have that experience to play against world class players from India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, etc. What other opportunity do they have? And people talk about or criticize the Pakistan domestic setup as well in terms of blooding youngsters. So I think this is the best way to do it, and it's not just other countries are doing it as well, as I mentioned, Australia, England, New Zealand. They've gone down that route, and even South Africa to an extent as well. So I think that's just how international cricket is nowadays, and I think that is the right step as well. And even with the bowlers, and I think an interesting pick has been, the likes of Mohammad Wasim has made the squad as well. And people can say that he was unfortunate to be left out years ago because he was within the Pakistan squad for some time as well. Like I remember he was in the New Zealand tour and he did well. I'd say every opportunity he got for Pakistan, but we know how strong bowlers like Naseem Shah are, how good they are. Shaheen Shah, Freely, obviously, world class bowlers. But I think it's also a good opportunity for him to showcase his skills. He's got wide variety of slower balls. He's a smart bowler. He can bowl at the death. He can bowl with the new ball. So when do they have an opportunity to play international cricket other than when it comes to resting maybe senior bowlers and getting that chance? So I think something to be mindful of, and I think it is the right step. And I like the fact that they've gone with aggressive players. It's a shift in mentality, and I like Salman Ali Agha. I think he's a good technical batsman. He's a smart cricketer. Usually players that are good at Test cricket, which he has been, have the technique to be able to do well in all formats. And he's obviously a very mature cricketer. So I think him being there as well is a good step as well in the right direction for Pakistan.
So also, if we talk about, as you mentioned, Naseem and Shaheen as good bowlers, and so what is happening recently, they are not getting that much support from the fans or the cricket lovers, because is it because of the bad luck, or because they have been breaking down as bowlers, so you feel like that they have been they are being pressurized by the workload management or the series or whatever they're playing, they're not getting enough rest to kind of perform well for the country. What reason do you think there is?
That's a good question. I think there's a lot of discussion. Everyone has an opinion about it, and I've listened to all the opinions from experienced bowlers. Like Wasim Akram has talked a lot about this, and many legends of the game have talked about this situation. And I'll probably mention them. So what they come and say is that bowlers aren't bowling enough, and so as a result, they do tend to break down. So I also know like players like Brett Lee would talk about how back in when Australia would play Test cricket, it would be the same bowlers like Brett Lee, Jason Gillespie, Glenn McGrath, and they never did any rotations or anything like that. It was literally them three always playing every single game up until someone was seriously injured. And Brett Lee would talk about in interviews that he still played through pain, which I thought was very interesting as well. So that's I'd say a lot of legendary bowlers would say that nowadays bowlers are breaking up because they're not bowling enough. On top of that, they also talk about the amount of gym work that they do, and I think there is a point to be made in terms of what is the most efficient type of training that bowlers need to do when it comes to gym work. Right, I actually literally just came from the gym just now, and so you get all sorts of injury. Like currently, I have a shoulder injury on my left and on my right as well, and just being at the gym, so there's a tendency for your muscles to break down. And now, like in the world of fitness, they're talking about fascia training, which is a lot different. So fascia training is like, imagine if you see Olympic sprinters when they before they race, they're warming up and they're jumping up and down, and they're jumping up and down in a way where it's like they're a spring, like they're jumping very, in a fluid way, right? And people now talk about that kind of training is neglected because that's essentially the covering around your muscles needs to be trained as well. And a lot of, for example, martial artists, they don't train the muscles, right? They don't do weightlifting. When we talk about primitive human beings, like from thousands and thousands of years ago, they didn't have weights to just lift in the forest, right? They did other trainings, when it comes to being hunter gatherers. And so, did they break down in the way that bowlers are breaking down? No, I don't know. It's an interesting question, right? But I think there's something to be made when it comes to the type of gym work. And I know people will be like, there's experts and people that are in the fitness world that do train these bowlers, so they will be best equipped to have this knowledge. But I think sometimes the knowledge we get is always evolving. It's not like just because in this point in time we have this information that's telling us that we should do this. Like, yeah, of course we'll listen to it and all that, but that doesn't mean that's the best or correct way. I just think personally, from my experience, that there's tailored approaches for different people. You can't just kind of force everyone to have the same training regime and expect them to be the best when it comes to their fitness. Everyone is different, and I think there needs to be a change when it comes to the amount of gym work or the type of fitness regime that is put in place for bowlers. But on top of that, I think that's just a perspective. The other perspective is also people will bring up the fact that no, like back when I was talking about the example of Brett Lee and Jason Gillespie and Glenn McGrath, they didn't play in the time of T20 franchises, right? So now all these players are traveling around the world. They're probably doing more workload possibly than these other old legendary bowlers of the game, because one day they're in America playing that franchise cricket, then another day they're playing CPL, another day they're playing PSL, then they're playing BPL. So like this is a different world, and so people also make the point that maybe they are actually doing more loads and bowling in a way where it hasn't been done previously, and therefore that's why bowlers are breaking down. So I think all those opinions are valid. I'm not here to say this is the correct way, that's the correct way. I think all of it has a place, and that is a contributing factor. And I think, of course, rest is important, but there's also something to be said about bowlers not being able to bowl long spells, especially in Test cricket. We're seeing that, like we have Jasprit Bumrah, like he has to skip some certain test matches in order to make sure that he can even play some of the series, right? Especially important series. So there's all this sort of interesting conversations. But yeah, that's sort of my opinion about the matter.
Also, if we talk about, workload is a different thing, but if we talk about some cricket politics and country politics, so, there's this assumption on media that, Bangladesh and Pakistan doesn't go well, or India or Pakistan doesn't go well. But if we look at the players themselves, how they interact with the players of the other teams, so that's like a very whole different vibe. So if you talk about the recent ODI that happened between Bangladesh and Pakistan. In that recent particular, I saw this one clip in which Salman Ali Aga was standing and it was raining, and all the other Bangladeshi cricketers, they were holding umbrella for him. So which was so cute and nice. And on the other hand, there was also Mohsin Naqvi standing, and they were holding the umbrella for him. And recently, there's this one video which is going viral where Wasim Akram is dancing with the Indian players, cricketers, Harbhajan Singh and all. So, what do you think that, is there actually a political issue which is, which we see on social media? Is it really real, or the cricketers kind of break this stereotype that we have been seeing through media?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's also important to touch on the history, like as a Bangladeshi as well, and you're Pakistani, and so it's interesting to have this conversation because people obviously know about the war in 1971, and many Bangladeshis have felt a lot of trauma. Like I hear stories from my grandparents, so that trauma is there when it comes to Pakistan and Bangladesh. But in saying that, I'd say in the recent past, what's happened because of the Bangladesh student quota protests and everything that happened in Bangladesh and that political situation, a lot of love has been seen from Bangladeshis, from Pakistanis, right? Like the amount of love and support and amount of happiness, Pakistanis have showed towards Bangladesh about that whole situation, and a lot of love from Pakistan, and Bangladeshis have felt that, and I think that is also what has allowed people from Bangladesh and Pakistan to come closer, despite the history, in 1971. And on top of that, something to be mindful of is that a lot of Pakistanis play in the Bangladesh Premier League as well. So
Yeah.
naturally, I know even in the recent past, like Shahid Afridi was hanging out with many Bangladeshi players. He was, I think, ambassador for one of the teams, if I'm not mistaken. So, and many other cricketers like Sam Ayub, Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, all these players have played in Bangladesh, so they're very well acquainted with each other. We also know, of course, like most Bangladeshis can understand Urdu. Unfortunately, I can't really speak Urdu, but I can understand a bit of it. And by in Bangladesh, most people can speak Urdu anyway. So there's that kind of relationships, especially with India as well, of course. So like, there's always that love naturally because you were able to communicate with each other in a way, other than each country speaking English to each other. It's not the same as speaking a sort of common language. So I think all those aspects play a part as to why they come together, and especially we see even aside from Pakistan and Bangladesh, also in India and Pakistan players, you see how close they are actually. Like because there's so much love and care. Like after the games, you can see them hanging out, talking to each other. I think there's a lot of mutual respect there, and at the end of the day, they want to be closer together when it comes to in terms of nations as well. So they don't get to be close as much, and so when they have that opportunity on the same cricket field, they make the most of it, and that shows that there's a lot of love there, and people want to see unity in that sense, especially within cricket, right? So I think it's very unfortunate and at times that um, it's not there, but hopefully in the future it can change. And I think a lot of people like my. I think at the back of my mind, sometimes when I'm talking about cricket with my friends, I always talk about how I wish players from India can play in the PSL, or players from Pakistan can play in the
That would be.
IPL. That'd be insane, right? Like that would be a dream. Like imagine like Virat Kohli and Babar Azam in the same IPL team. That'd
Oh
be
my.
insane. Yeah. So I think people have those dreams, and just like I
Definitely.
do, right? Having that, like we've seen at one point, like Shoaib Akhtar played for KKR, if I'm not mistaken, right? So people sort of long for that kind of thing to happen, right? But unfortunately, it doesn't look like anytime soon. But you never know.
If I talk about that, your wife's from Pakistan, you yourself are from Bangladesh, and you were born in Sydney. So three major cricket teams from each of the places. Okay, Pakistan cricket team, Indian cricket team, and then England cricket team. So if you had to choose one cricket team which you personally feel like is the strongest and is the best, and three underrated players from each team that you feel like they can be a upcoming superstar, or we need to watch out them for. So which team would you pick, and which would be the three underrated players?
Good question. I think I naturally have a soft spot for Pakistan purely because obviously you mentioned my wife's Pakistani, but on top of that, um, I've always had a soft spot because people know how talented Pakistani players are. Like you always hear many foreigners that come and coach in Pakistan talking about wow, like all this talent. Like even Jason Gillespie, I recall in a recent interview talked about it, and many players, many other coaches have as well, and they haven't. It's unfortunate we haven't seen Pakistan play to their potential, right? Despite the talented players. So for me, it's like you can see players like Sam Ayub or Fakhar Zaman, who I love watching, right? And everyone knows about the Champions Trophy, right? In that situation, and how good he was. So people know how good, and they got world class bowlers too. So I think having that in mind, I always have a soft spot for Pakistan because you want a team like that to do well. Like I also like a team like West Indies, right? Like very talented bunch of players, but they don't necessarily play to the potential. So I've always naturally had a soft spot. So I'd say Pakistan, and I'd say the player that I am personally excited for. I'd say the fact that like when Sam Ayub came to Australia in that Test series, and first innings, he looked so good. I think everyone really enjoys watching Sam Ayub bat. But I also personally like someone like Saibzada Farhan. I think he's a very exciting top order batsman, and very aggressive batsman, and very exciting. The way he bats, the positive mindset. Like what really impressed me as well. I think he only played the last T20 in Bangladesh, and Bangladesh pitches are known, especially in Dhaka, to be slow turning and terrible for T20 cricket, but he still kept that mindset because a lot of people get a little defensive, which is normal in those pitches, especially in T20s when it's turning so much. But he just still, I think he scored a 50 if I'm not mistaken, and I watched that innings and he was very positive. He just kept to his game plan. It looked, when he hits his sixes, it stays hit. So I think he's a very exciting player to watch out for, and personally one of my current favorites to watch and to watch on TV.
Okay. So also, if we talk about the upcoming Asia Cup, obviously, because that's the most exciting thing about the cricket fans right now. So, do you think that the teams, that squad that have been announced, if you just talk about Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India, so do you think the squad is strong? And which squad is like the strongest? And you are really rooting for them to win.
Or rooting for them. I mean, as a Bangladeshi, I would have to root for Bangladesh to win, but we don't historically have had the best, strongest squads when it comes to T20s. Unfortunately, India, they're just so stacked. Like everyone talks about how Shreyas Iyer didn't make the team, and Shreyas Iyer is a world class batsman as well, and that's the kind of players they can leave out.
But
Rohit Sharma, obviously,
I was
yeah.
looking at the draft, and I personally felt like it's a really strong team.
Exactly, yeah, and I think what's really good is that I think they're really. So I listened to the recent interview that Sanju Samson did with Ravi Ashwin, and you can just see like how what a measured individual and how hard he's worked to make it into India team because he always sort of doubted him because he didn't get opportunities when he did well to play for India, and now he is. And the thing is, like the management, I trust him because he used to come in and out of the team, but now, Gautam Gambhir has shown a lot of faith in him. In order, he said something like, even if you score like 15 or 20 ducks in a row, I'll still put you in the team. So that gives a lot of confidence for a player to hear that, right? But I don't know how much of that is being done in other teams, in Pakistan or Bangladesh or any other nation as well, right? Like that's the sort of culture I think they're building in when it comes to the T20 squad. They're probably relying a bit more on the younger players. So I think India by far strongest team, but T20 cricket's always can be a gamble at times. It's the best team that shows up on the day. So you can't rule out a team like Pakistan. As I said, like they revamped their team, something to be excited about. Bangladesh, like they do have some exciting players, but I don't think like. And one good thing about Bangladesh recently is their pace attack has gotten a lot better. So you never know. Like just depends on the type of pitches that get rolled up. But I'd say India for sure, head and shoulders the strongest team.
I am also super excited about Abhishek Sharma because how he played in the IPL. Even though their team didn't win, but he was really good. So, and now I saw his name in the team, so I was like, wow, he. I feel like he deserved the place. What are your thoughts on Abhishek Sharma being in the team of Indian squad?
Yeah, he's been so good for them. On top of that, like one thing, as I mentioned with Gautam Gambia, they've fixed their team, so they haven't like people talk about Shreyas Iyer being left out, but they don't recall like yes, he did well in the recent IPL and did really well as captain, but he wasn't even in the T20 squad. And so it's hard to kind of drop someone that they've been investing in, who's been in the squad for the past 1 or 2 years, and just straight away put Shreyas Iyer, especially when you have players like Abhishek Sharma in the team. And he does offer something like he can bowl as well. He's ultra aggressive. He's left-handed. I think these things are very, key to especially an opening batsman. And he's scored hundreds and he's made it look easy, right? So I think you can't really, tinker with that. You have to stick to that. And yeah, these are all world-class players. And so he's very, he's not gonna, he's always gonna put his money where his mouth is. He's always gonna back himself, and he can. And one thing which is crazy is that he's probably one of the only players that really has taken down Rashid Khan, right? Like,
Yeah,
I think he's hit many sixes of Rashid Khan, which I don't think any other player has done. He's young as well, like he's
yeah,
got so
exactly.
much experience, yeah. So you have to go with him. How do you feel about the Pakistan team in general? The selection that has been made.
Oh, okay. Wow, but didn't I tell you that I'm happy?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in terms of like, I mean, for example, Naseem Shah wasn't picked. It's a bit controversial as well. What's your
Okay, you cannot put that, but yeah.
Okay, so what about, for example, we have who from the youngsters in the Pakistan team excite you the most?
Excites me the most. Um, I would say Hassan Nawaz because I have watched him in playing for Quetta Gladiators recently, and he was exceptionally good. So I'm really rooting for him, and I'm so happy that he's in the squad.
Yeah, he's been really good, and they've
Yeah,
also played him in ODIs. He did well in ODIs recently as well. So I probably should have talked more about him, but yeah, he's been excellent, and he's been batting. I think over the order. Like I think in one game batted number three, and then another game number five. But he's been doing really well. So very
yeah, he's
exciting
amazing.
talent. So no, I understand why you picked him as well.
Why? Just because he's from Quetta?
My
Yeah,
other question would be, in terms of the Indian team, who are you excited to watch?
Abhishek Sharma uh, because I have been watching him when he just started playing, and then in IPL, that thing when he was like, "This is for the Orange Army," and
Yeah,
the way that he manifested the score. I listened to I listened to one of his interview, and he said that I kind of manifested it that I'm gonna score this for my team, and I had this chit in my pocket, and I knew that I'm gonna score, I'm gonna show it. So I'm like, I'm so excited from him because he's, first of all, you're talented, second of all, you are believing in yourself that I know I can do it. So that's
yeah,
the, and I guess he has like a good energy, and I guess he'll be doing really amazing this time.
yeah. I'm excited to watch him play as well. And in terms of Indian bowlers, who excites you the most? Who do you like to watch?
Okay, so I'm super excited to watch Bumrah because he has been my favorite since a very long time, and I just love the way he bowls. And even as a person, I kind of watch his interviews and kind of watch his clips. He's kind of very he's a cricketer who is introvert, shy, but when he comes on the pitch, he knows his game. Like you
Yeah,
can expect that he will definitely send the person to the dressing room if he's bowling.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's a freak of nature as well, but very humble guy as well, which is amazing. I mean, okay, so from Babar Azam, Muhammad Rizwan, and Naseem Shah, um, because those three didn't make the squad, who were you sad about the most?
Everyone knows it that I'm extremely sad that Naseem didn't make it. But I am also happy that it's high time that he needs to get some rest and kind of chill out and come back stronger. But I really wanted to see him playing for our country. But it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Tanzim, tell me that what about the Bangladesh squad? Like, do you think the squad this time is strong enough? Do you have good bowlers? Do you have good batsmen? And can you guys kind of win the tournament, win the Asia Cup? Do you think you guys are strong enough?
I think if it's very bowler friendly conditions, but in saying that even other teams have strong bowlers, because Bangladesh's strength is probably the bowling at this point in time. They have some good paces. Tanzim Hassan, Sakib, Taskin Ahmed, Mustafiz, Shariful. They're very good quality bowlers. So in that front, Bangladesh have improved a lot. But in saying that, the batting has been very weak. But similar to what I was saying about Pakistan and how they're revamping their squad, Bangladesh selectors, I think, are doing a similar thing where they're getting youngsters into the team and trying to groom them. So you got Parvez Emon, you got Tanzil Hassan. They've been pretty decent with the chances they've gotten. And Tawhid Ridway is probably the best T20 player currently, probably in Bangladesh, I'd say. And you have players like Liton Das. So you have exciting players, but I don't see them being as consistent at this point in time. But you never know. Like that's the thing. It comes down to T20. You never know who could win on the day. It depends on who brings their A game. And by in saying that, I just don't see the batting prowess within the Bangladesh team when you compare it to even Pakistan's batting or India's batting. I just feel like they can easily be outbatted in this Asia Cup, which is unfortunate. But there's something there to be worked on. They've got some new faces like Nurul Hassan, so we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, I personally like Jakir Ali a lot. I think he has a really good temperament, very exciting talent, very talented batsman as well. Um, I really enjoy watching him. So he's an exciting player. So they have talent, I'd say Bangladesh, but if they can somehow bring it all together, then they can do okay. But their batting has been consistent. So usually it's like one person might get 50, 70 runs, and then everyone else gets like almost single digits, or like it's not consistent, and that's the big problem for Bangladesh currently. But hopefully they can really play out of their skins and do well.
So each squad this time, whether it's India, Bangladesh, or Pakistan, they have brought in new emerging players. Okay, so let's hope who performs well, because the squad keeps changing. But let's hope for the best, and let's hope the best team wins. And I'm gonna root for my team, which is Pakistan. And you need to decide which team you are rooting for, because you belong to a lot of teams. So that's the question.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
You
I
cannot
think
choose the
that's
team which is winning, and at the end of the day, you cannot be like that. Okay, I was definitely supporting them from the start.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone just supports the team that they want to support, which players they feel gels with them. I think most people that are just casual followers like seeing particular players play, and so I think that's why it's a bit sad that Babar Azam isn't playing, because everyone obviously around the world, even casual fans, even casual Pakistani fans, they're going to tune into Asia
Everyone
Cup and
loves
it's
him.
like there's no Babar Azam, which is a bit sad,
Yeah,
but. Hopefully, Pakistan have other players that step up. Like Fakhar Zaman, we didn't probably talk about him as much, but
yeah.
he's a very, very good player. So hopefully they can get the job done.
Yeah, let's see. Definitely, the changes do appear, and they can definitely do it, because we have had great batsmen and bowlers in the past as well, but now they have gone. Now emerging players like Babar Azam was an emerging at some point, right? And he proved that he can take place of those who have gone away. So definitely some might come who cannot definitely replace him, but they can definitely show us that they are not less. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, agreed.
Let's just play a game. Okay, so it's like kiss kill marry. Okay, but obviously you cannot choose that, so we're gonna kind of change it a little bit. So kill, you definitely don't want to see in the squad. Marry someone you would want to, you can definitely spend the rest of your life with if you are stuck with them. And kiss someone you would go on a date with, or maybe hang out with, not date, but you can hang out with them. Okay, and wouldn't be
Uh,
bored. So, from any team that you kind of wanna take the player name from, you can choose and you can tell me. So, the first one is, in our context, kill. Who do you wanna? Who do you never wanna see in the team?
in any squad, like it doesn't matter Bangladesh or Pakistan, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. Okay, I'd say Saif. I'd say Saif Hassan. So he recently got picked in the Bangladesh squad. He's a batsman. And I just some players you just don't like. I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Like I'm sure like
He must be so.
yeah, he has a nice smile. He's a good guy. I'm sure like I'd give him a handshake. Nothing against the guy, but I just like I've seen him bat. He doesn't move his feet. It just makes me so annoyed. Like because I'm from like obviously I'm born and bred in Australia. Players. You're coaching to move your feet, move towards the ball, and then you're watching this guy does nothing of that. So it just makes me really annoyed and upset and angry and very emotional. I don't know. Every time I just see him bat. So yeah, I have to. I'm sorry. I don't want to actually kill him, but because I'm a nice guy. But yeah, I have to kill this nice guy, unfortunately.
Okay, who would you want to go on a date with? Date as in spend the day without getting bored.
So I'm tempted. I've always sort of liked Liton Das, but the problem is I think he's a little shy guy. So I don't know if I'll be doing most of the talking. So you don't want to like date someone
Overburden.
little talking. You don't want like an introverted guy. So I probably won't pick him. Um, uh, okay, so
It's
probably
okay.
I'll say Hardik Pandya. I'll say Hardik Pandya.
Okay. Oh my god, that would be
Yeah,
so
yeah.
amazing.
Very very dangerous man, I'd say.
Energetic, kind of fun, would be vlogging
Yeah,
24/7, taking pictures, school day. Okay.
Yeah,
And lastly, who would you want to spend rest of your life with? And without getting bored, you'll be like, okay, this is my favorite player for the rest of my life.
definitely my wife. I have to say that. And but if we're talking about cricket, the player I would pick. That's a hard one. Um, ooh, this is hard question. Um, uh, all right, I'll
I don't
pick
think so.
Jakir Ali. I'll pick
Today.
Jakir
Yeah.
Ali. The reason I pick him because like when I'm on Instagram, he's always like every day uploading like gym routines. I'm like, wow, like okay, this is inspiring me, right? And then he's got like this big beard. It's very inspirational, and he's just and very interesting guy. It's like full raining, and he's like swimming in the water, like very like I wanna marry kind of this type of person. Like very imagine you're stuck in an island, yeah. I don't know why you're in an island, but and then you have to pick three people that you wanna just hang out in that island with, because it's a little might you don't want to be by yourself. It's a little boring. It will get a little boring. So you have to pick three players from the any Asia Cup team squad that you can sort of hang out with in the island.
So the three players that I would be choosing if I would be stuck on an island, I would say that would be Abhishek Sharma, because he's good at manifestation, so he can just manifest that what how we can just get out of here.
Yeah,
He might just write it in his pocket and we'll be out. And when we'll get out, he can show it to the world. Second would be second would be Hardik Pandya, because he's very fun. So we need someone who can kind of keep us entertained. And third would be Salman Ali Aga, because he's very intelligent and mature. So I feel like he can just collect the words for us and build a boat so we can get out of there. Very
yeah, I think it's
intellectual,
a good mix.
but I guess yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a very good mix. You need a balance of everything. You need someone
Yeah,
that's very funny. You need someone that can have fun, but you need someone to get the job done. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Both. Okay, so if you had a choice to bring two players who have been dropped from the squad of any of your favorite squad, which two players will are you bringing back, and which two are you throwing back?
Ooh, I like I like Shreyas Iyer a lot. I like his swagger. I like the way he plays his cricket, because he had a lot of criticism about his batting, like playing the short ball, and he just kind of dealt with it and came back really good. So I think I would want him back, even though I understand why he didn't get picked. And the other one we probably didn't talk about is Jaiswal, who wasn't picked as well. But I'll pick Shreyas Iyer, and I'll probably pick. Um, Oof. I like Mohammad Rizwan a lot. I would probably pick him. Yeah,
And
I'll
which
pick
two are you throwing back?
who I take out of the squad.
Yeah, because if you're bringing two in, you need to bring two out.
Oh, okay, so from the India team, I would take a. Even though I like Tilak Varma, I think he's a good player, but I just like Shreyas Iyer's swagger, so he gets kicked out. And from Pakistan, okay, I mean, I'll probably take a Mohammed Harris. I think okay, so I would actually probably change my answer. You know how you asked one player you'd kill? I don't know if
Yeah,
it's Mohamed Harris, to be honest. He'd be a close second for me, to be honest, because like he's been so inconsistent. He's just an inconsistent batsman. I like him. I like when he gets going, but I think he just gets picked all the time, even though his
yeah.
performance hasn't been there.
His luck, his luck. He's super lucky for that, maybe.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think that's my answer. But who would you take out of the squad, and who would you pick?
Okay, so for the Indian squad, I would bring in Rishabh Pant, and I will. I need to think about it now. Maybe what? Like maybe Pandya, because
You'd
I
take
feel
out
like okay, I would bring out Pandya and bring in Rishabh Pant, because I feel like they both are the same. They both have the same energy. They both are fun. and it's okay if he replace them. It's like cool. And for Pakistan team, I would bring out not to hurt anyone, but I would bring out Saim Ayub and bring him out, and I would bring in Babar Azam in because a lot of people love him and they like him. So I feel like they need to get Babar Azam back so they can actually enjoy watching the game. But yeah, also Simon Ayub is kind of, is I feel like he's still learning from Babar Azam. So it would be great if Babar Azam comes back and Simon Ayub sits and watches him, and then he comes back again in another tournament. I don't want to hurt.
Okay.
Will I hurt anyone's feeling by this? I don't want anyone to bash me and be like, "Woman,
Which player would you count on to save your life?
to save my life."
Yeah, so you're like stuck in a like on a train tracks and you're
I know.
tired and there's a train coming your way and then in the moment you can allow one player to be teleported into that train tracks to save your life. Who would you pick?
Oh my god, that's such a strange question, but I
Quickly,
would.
the train's about to come. You have to pick someone.
Okay, who's the strongest? I'm thinking. I would pick Azam Khan. I know he's not in the squad, but I would pick Azam Khan. I feel like he can definitely save me. Azam
Okay.
Khan.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he can even stop the train. Cause I guess. Okay, no. Please cut that part. That sounds so mean. Okay, no. Okay, no. Yeah, but I'll choose Azam Khan. I feel like he
Okay.
has the potential to save me. Potential can be.
In what way? In what way?
I feel like he's strong enough, and he has this. I don't know. What do you want me to say? Like,
He has a kind heart, maybe? I don't know. He can play the guitar, so maybe that could help. Maybe it'll calm you down if you're a bit stressed. The train coming. He can bring his
no,
guitar along
like
to
he
calm
can
the
come
situation.
and uh, kind of rescue me. I have trust in him.
Or actually, what he can do, he can like stop the train and then he will save you, but then he can also, like everyone, like if they're in a life death situation, they got saved, they're in shock and they're scared, then he'll play his guitar.
Okay, then I might just choose Abhishek Sharma. He might manifest for me again. He might write in his pocket that okay, save this girl and wrap it up, and the chains might stop because he has good manifestation. If not,
Yeah,
as
maybe.
picks my phone, then it is Abhishek Sharma. I'm telling him to come.
The only problem is if you're in the Pakistan train tracks, I don't know if Abhishek Sharma will be allowed to. He has to get
Okay,
a visa on the way.
from his home, he can do that, na? Manifestation
Right.
can work. Where he can just write it and sleep, and I'll be safe. I hope so. I don't think so. Else has that potential to save me, or they'll be willing to save me. But I have great trust in Azam Khan. I know he can save me.
Yeah, me too. I think yeah, it's a good choice.
Okay, I'll ask you the same question. But I don't think so. Any player would be coming to save you.
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, I don't
yeah,
blame them. Yeah.
yeah. So, but what if they are and you are stuck? Who will you be calling to save you? And you have trust in them that they can save you. You cannot choose
Uh,
Azam because of him. So please, you cannot.
I will. I think I'll choose Mohammed Harris because I think I'll get so angry seeing him. Like, because I already am frustrated with his batting. So I think because I see him and he's in front of me
Are you
on the
talking
train.
about Haris Rauf?
No, Mohammed Harris, the batsman.
Ah, okay. The entire time I was thinking you're talking about Haris Rauf. I was like,
Uh,
why him? Okay.
well, no, actually, I changed my answer. I'll probably say Harris Ruff now because I remember in the World Cup in America, there were those people that confronted him and he got angry. Yeah,
Yeah. For
and
the
he
Bangladesh.
can stand up. Yeah, there was a Pakistan. I think they were Pakistani fans or something. There was three of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the wife was with him. Yeah, so the way he like address this situation, I think
But they
he'll
were in his
stop the
privacy,
trade.
right?
Yeah. No, I think Harris. I think he's a, and I like the way he always reviews like us. Every time he's bowling, and then if he gets an LBW shout, he's always like trying to convince everyone to take the review.
So do you
So
like don't like him?
no, I like him. I think he's
You
good.
okay, you
Yeah, I
like him.
like.
Change of statements, but yeah. So you'll call him to save you.
Okay, I'll say it again. I'll answer. So I'll pick Harris Rauf. I think I like his mindset. He's very driven man. I think he's a very optimistic person, and like he takes reviews. Like when even though the ball's going down leg, and there's no chance of a LBW, he'll still take the review and convince in ODIs Babar Azam to take the review. So I like that optimism. So I think that'll help when I'm about to be run over by a train. I think he'll be very optimistic man and help me.
How amazing it is to realize that both of us choose a Pakistani cricketers to help us. So you have trust in Pakistani cricketers, but you don't trust your Bangladeshi or Indian or England cricketers to help you out. That's literally, a good thing for us.
Yeah, I think everyone
We
wants to be saved by Pakistani cricketers. I think, yeah, I think so.
Why would you say that? Okay, then that's something you have some hidden context in that. I don't want to know that, but yeah.